Greetings, welcome everyone. What's happening? Yes, wine glasses do talk, but now they don't. Welcome everyone. Good to see you. Glad to see you. Thank you for coming back today. Gonna do a short stream. I think I'm gonna label this as article reactions. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. I was doing it on another channel, and I think I'm gonna do it over here. I am going to have my judge and jury segment every now and again, but today is just going to be just straight article reactions. And let's see what we got going on. Who we got here? We have, if I can change my screen. So that's why I need another monitor. I'm going to start a GoFundMe in June, so that way it'd be like a half year, get past all of this, and because it'll probably going to take about 9 months to actually, people to get kind of straight. Um, so we'll see what happens. But thank you for coming through. We got Zero, Emmanuel, and the classic Ruby crew. Who else we got here? Just Ask DeAndre. Or I just call him DeAndre. Esteemed Cerulean Gray. Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate it. All right. And well, I'll put this up here since Crew has entered the building. He didn't know anything about it unless he caught the replay yesterday. But if he didn't, that's what was rolling on yesterday. So that was yesterday's news, Crew. But I will say happy birthday to you. I hope it was a great one. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I appreciate it. Got a little something for you. And you can check out the replay, you know. And since you missed it, I guess I'll give it to you. Yeah, so we were celebrating your birthday and you weren't here, but that's okay. Hope you had fun. And to give my greeting to my partner in crime, I appreciate she came through today as well because she always has good inputs. I'm pretty straightforward. Bam, bam, that's it. You think of the rest on your own. But we have the classic Ruby, everyone.
Giggle, giggle. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's always a blast. I'm telling you, y'all, if you haven't been here before, stick around. Char does not find normal articles, okay? I don't know where she finds this news, but it is always incredible. And you're always like scratching your head, like, really? Really? My God, what is this world coming to? Like, so.
Well, I'll just have one of those type of articles, um, and I think I'll do it like that. Just have one, which is normally my judge and jury, but yeah, I'm gonna have just one that's kind of a little amazing, a little strange.
Okay.
Hey, fitness mom, nice to see you. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you.
Yes, yes, and happy birthday, crew. I don't think I said it yet. And hello to everyone in the chat. I'm sorry, my hands are busy, so I'm not typing, but greetings to everyone. I'm not ignoring you. I love you. Mwah. Mwah. Happy Easter to those who are celebrating it. I know for me, this was a rough Easter. I only celebrate two things religiously, right? Which is Christmas Eve and Good Friday. Those are the only two things that I do. So, they took Good Friday away from me this year. So it's weird. Like, couldn't go and go to church and afterwards to go to mama's house and eat some fish and bun and cheese. And, it was just like, we didn't do anything. by the time I remembered, oh yeah, I'm supposed to buy fish because there's no party anymore. Everything was closed because grocery stores closed
Oh.
early, and it was like, all right, I guess I'm not celebrating the day Jesus died on the cross for me or whatever. All right, cool. So it's like this Easter is like, and then it's like, there's no family dinner tomorrow, and it's been a very ick Easter, because of social
Hmm.
distancing and everything. So I'm like, y'all are my Easter. So hey, what's up?
Yeah. Only thing I really celebrate is I enjoy celebrating people' birthdays
Mm.
because I appreciate people. So I just want them to know I think of them and they're special to me.
Oh.
And other than that, I celebrate days off with pay. Those are those my highlights. Those two.
And pension. Don't forget pension. We all know you celebrate a pension.
Yes, I will celebrate a pension. If you got a pension coming up, let me know. I'm gonna be real happy for you. I'm telling you.
Oh, we know. We know.
If you're fighting for it, let me know. It might be something I can do. You never know.
I'm telling you, y'all might think Char's not there. Just say the word pension. You want to know if she's there? Just say pension. She'll be like, pension? Did anyone say pension? All of a sudden, she pops up out of the bushes. There's Char.
Okay, I don't
Mhm.
play.
Mhm.
Yeah, one day maybe I'll get one. I don't know. But
Aren't we all hoping
anyway.
for one? Right? That beautiful, lovely, magical dream called a pension. Mm.
Yeah, that's true. Oh well.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Well, I'll get on the first article. Let's see here. Get my screen share going on. And that's what my GoFundMe is going to be definitely for another monitor. And I'll talk around and I'll do some research as well, what I would need, because I would literally like to go live. And I'll be doing, on air, literally with camera and all of that stuff. Because I think people will take you more serious if you have your camera on giving advice. It's just not your picture, even though I, update it and all. I
Mhm.
think they would appreciate that more. So that'll
Yeah.
be the goal for next year.
Ooh, that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Mm.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Make sure I click on the right one. Because I got one that just keeps starting over and over again, and I'm telling it to stop, but I don't know what it is. And I have the what do you call that thing on that blocker? It means nothing. It just loses its mind. So hopefully
Mm.
I won't get interrupted.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So share that. There's no audio on this one. Bam. All right. Man facing murder charge argues fear of coronavirus gets out of Harris County Jail. Inmate posted zero bail up front. Yep,
Wow.
that's right, everybody. And I know you guys probably seen that R. Kelly wanted to get out and a couple other people, and they're still there. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Oh shoot, this does have audio. I forgot. This got audio. Let me go back out. My bad.
Ooh. Okay. Mm.
This one does have audio. I was trying to remember which one has audio, which one does. This one actually does. So let me do this again
Mhm.
because the family is speaking. Yeah,
Okay. That's something. Um,
it is.
what?
Like how you do that? Where they do that at?
Ugh.
In Harris County.
Apparently, right? Where they
That's
do
where they
that
do
at?
that
Harris
at.
County. That's right.
There you go.
I'm gonna go move over there, right?
Okay, rob a bank and I heard
Oh
about
my
this
god.
virus.
I legit was gonna say that. Rob a bank. That was literally my next thought. Want to rob a bank? Do it in Harris County. That's the place to do it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Hope you
All
guys
right.
hear the volume, the audio, audio, and it would be going slow.
Of course.
That's right. We got struggle Wi-Fi and everything. Everybody's at home.
It's
Like, it's
like
not our fault.
my son's life was no value.
Her son was murdered last summer.
27-year-old Christian Tristan was a dad, happy and hardworking. 29-year-old David Cruz, a guy with a lengthy record of arrests, was charged with Tristan's murder. Only as of Thursday, he's out of the Harris County Jail, and he didn't have to put up a dime for bail. Cruz's argument to the judge was the fear of getting coronavirus. It worked.
We want to make it very clear to our Harris County community, there are no mass releases planned. Our number one priority will always be public safety.
They are talking about releasing nonviolent criminals, but yet this person was released.
Today, we got another statement from the sheriff's office. The Harris County Sheriff's Office had no role in an independent judge's decision to release this specific inmate. And that's true. This week, we've learned the sheriff asked for 35 releases. They all appear to be misdemeanor defendants. The DA's office didn't want this to happen either. No, this was the decision of one judge. This one, Deshaun Jones. He's got a fancy website, even a section for arranging speaking engagements. But he still hasn't gotten back to us.
You charged him with murder, and you released him, knowing that he murdered my son. And I felt like my son, his life meant nothing. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to release nonviolent offenders. Well, I mean, he's a murderer, but, he's not really a violent kind of guy, and he's scared of COVID-19. Released. Wait, what? Hold on. Murder.
Right. Yeah, okay. Speaking engagements, he doesn't respond to the news. Is that something?
That is amazing. How can you be a justice, like a judge, right? You're supposed to be upholding the law. And yet on the side, you're doing speaking engagements, like you're like, what, a life coach or something? I'm confused. What is that exactly? How is this allowed? Like, I understand. I mean, I'm sure there's no actual like law against you doing it, but you're supposed to be like the highest of high as far as like levels of respect and, law and being unbiased and blah, blah, blah. Like, shouldn't you be busy, like a little too busy for you to be doing stuff like that? Wow, that's special. What?
Yeah, I'm just surprised, and it has nothing to do with nationality, anything like that. It's just the fact of the crime.
Right. And I knew for sure that the judge in question wasn't white when I saw the person who was released for murder, right? He was not a white guy, with blonde hair and blue eyes. So of course he got a release. He was like, this, Spanishy dude. And so you're like, okay, well, he's not white. That means the judge for sure is not white. I knew that. But, apparently these releases, whether they're for nonviolent or for this murderer right here, comes down to, it all went down to one judge. This one judge decided that a good reason for releasing people on $0 bail, $0. They have no tie to the court to come back at all. None. Is fear of coronavirus.
Yeah, isn't that something? Just don't worry about it. Just go on out. Yep. Go ahead.
Right.
What kind of mess is that?
We believe in, whenever we get the stuff straightened out, I'm sure you'll come back of your own volition and go back to jail. I'm sure that'll happen. What?
Yeah, right. He's gonna fear for the rest of his life, and that's gonna be that with that judge anyway. And he'll let it go.
Apparently. Okay, I will say this. Okay, so if you have a specially compromised immune system, like you're one of those people who you're very likely to catch it, and if you do, your body's very unlikely to be able to fight it off. So then there's a good chance you're not spending your time in the jail anyway, because you're going to get in there in close quarters with all these people. You'll probably catch it. They're not going to be able to handle it in the medical wing of the jail, and they're going to send you to the regular hospital anyway. If you're one of those people, fine. I kind of do get it. let them out and go and hide in a house somewhere or catch it on the streets and go to the hospital anyway. Fine. But
Yeah.
I don't know, they didn't mention any extenuating circumstances. They didn't say this guy, oh, he's compromised health, HIV, blah blah blah, bad lungs, something that would say his fear of catching COVID-19 matters. Like it's not like
Nothing.
right, like it's not like HIV is airborne in the jail or something, and so like it's COVID-19, so there's like a 1% chance you'll die, 99% chance you'll live. It's like saying, you know what, it's cold and flu season, and it's a jail, I don't really want to catch the flu. You know what, you're right, we'll wait till summer to incarcerate you for 25 to life. Like what?
No. Uh-uh. Wow.
Oh, I I can't. See, this is what happens when you have the media spreading more panic than calm, right? Is I think honestly it infests everybody. And when people are scared, then they're less rational. So they don't make rational decisions. Um, and they make decisions based on that fear, right? There's this fear of this pandemic, this fear of, oh my God, we're all going to die. Oh my God, oh my God. And so no one's thinking about rational facts. Like he's a murderer. He's a murderer who can't afford bond at all. Maybe we shouldn't let him out then. It,
You know, I want to know that guy's history, that judge history. He got something going on.
mm-hmm.
And that's where you're going to get your answer at. That's where the
True.
answer lies. Will
Oh,
we
yeah.
ever know? I don't know. The article is in the um, description. Well, no, I didn't put it in description. My bad, but I may put it there. But I put it in the chat room for you. Let me see if I still have the link.
Okay.
I don't. Oh well, but I can pull it though. But yeah, I put it in the chat room here, and I'll put in the at the video in the description for you guys. But I
Okay.
think that'll be good to kind of try to get whatever information you can about him, because if he has a website and he's doing speaking engagements, he got something else going on, and that's what is more important to him.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know what I mean? Does this seem reasonable to you? Like if you have a doctor, for example, right? You expect them to go to medical conferences and, speak on, medicine, or go to teaching hospitals, or to schools where there, people are in med school and whatever, and speak there. You don't expect them to have speaking engagements. Book me for your next speaking engagement live. Like you don't expect that, right? It's like, aren't you a little too busy to be? And that's a doctor. That's not like, a judge. A judge, the only place I think they should be able to speak are like law school, um, yeah, law conferences for lawyers, and whatever stuff like that. Like this seems like he's got a personal side business, and that doesn't seem like a reasonable thing to do while you're still a sitting judge.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
All right. So for our next article, you see here, France is putting domestic abuse victims in hotels during coronavirus lockdown. It spiked up for the amount of domestic abuse by 30% in France. And
Oh,
that started in mid March, actually.
okay. Wow.
Yeah. So I mentioned yesterday, I think it was, that, the spike is going up, or I mentioned it recently, I'll put it that way, that, people are having to be quarantined with each other. And we have a lot of time together,
Mhm.
and we're forced to have a lot of time together, whether you have children or not. It's new.
Mhm.
It's all new. So um, I'm saying that to say it's happening all over,
Yep.
all over.
Absolutely. You know, I love this response actually, because to kind of be in this position now where I mean, goddamn, they've made it almost illegal for you to step outside of your house. So social distancing is real. You have to stay inside. You have to stay kind of stuck. And so if you're in a bad or abusive situation and you have nowhere else to go and you're not really allowed to go and roam the streets or just get away to try to be safe, or likewise on the other side, a person who's about to, lose their cool, well, they can't go and do what they usually do to blow off some steam because that's all shut down. And so, it's just creating really bad situations, especially if you have kids in the house. It makes it that much worse. So I'm glad that they've come up with a response to this. Like, okay, let's put you up somewhere. Let's make sure that we don't also now have way more violence going on. Now we got to arrest more people, first of all, put them in close quarters with other people, which is going to, cause more spread of this disease. And then on top of that, we also have a bunch of domestic violence sufferers who are injured and whatever, who need to go to the hospitals. Now you're putting more people into another group situation at the hospital where they're likely to come into contact with the COVID-19 virus. So, I think this is a smart addition to social distancing, where it's like, okay, listen, this is an easy way. If we can bring down 30% of the times that we're going to need to put people into close quarters with each other, why not do it? It's a good plan.
Yeah, you can't argue that. Not at all.
Hmm.
Um, and you're even seeing how it's affecting good and bad. And I say that as far as with social media. You're finding artists doing live streams, sharing their work, whatever that is, whether it's their music, their jokes, whatever it is, their acting, whatever they're, displaying that. And then you
Hmm.
have those also that are losing their mind, doing all kind of crazy stuff, Facebook lives, YouTube videos, doing crazy stuff. So it's a time that is new to all of us. And
Yes.
what you do with your time, because it is valuable. Don't think it's not. You can be doing something that is helpful
Hmm.
to yourself, to your family, and that way everybody can benefit.
Yes.
You know. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, we're in a position before now where they don't really know how to be useful or beneficial. They don't really know how to adult. As as people say, I got to go adulting today. But a lot of people don't know how. Like they get up, they go to work, they do things that they have to do, because it's like someone told them they have to do these things, but you take that away, they're not really sure what the hell else to do with themselves. um, and that's where I think you're going to have a lot of people who are just extra aggravated, not just because they don't like their significant other or their families, but just because it's like they feel so fish out of water. Or like I know a lot of men
Hmm.
who they need to work, like they need to work. There's some guys who honestly, even though they say, oh, if I had $1 million, I'd never work again. Yes, they would. Because they need to work. They just need to get up and go to
Yeah,
work.
you're
So they
right.
don't really know what to do, right? Like what the hell do they do with themselves? They'll do video games for like what, a week, and then they're like, okay, now I need to be a man. I need to do something, and I can't do anything. So I can't earn, can't fix it. Like what am I supposed to do? And I think that's the problem. When you get to that place right there, what are they supposed to do? They don't know. Till the land? Like a lot of people don't have land. They're in apartment buildings and stuff. At least if you're in
Yeah,
a house, you could fix some stuff up. But you're in an apartment. Now what do you do? Just
yeah.
hey,
They're
just
different from us. But they
hmm.
got to do something. They have to. They're created that way. So, um,
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't
And
know.
I'll tell you
Tell you.
also, unfortunately,
Hmm.
a lot of women want to nest. They just don't know how. So they can look at their houses and feel like, okay, this house is not a home. They want to nest. Now they're, especially because now they're stuck at home, so they can't go and work. So they want to nest, but they don't know how. They're not really sure how to make this house feel like a home. They're not really sure how to, you know, um, do an extra deep cleaning. They're not really sure how to, hey, listen, I'm going to put together an amazing casserole from whatever leftovers are in the cupboard. A lot of people honestly don't know how to do those things. We think that they do, but there's a lot of people. I'll say honestly, and I'm not even trying to be like racially divided. But here in Canada, one thing that we know about white people is they don't know how to cook. And it will be amazing to see like a white woman, been married for 5 years, 7 years, she's got a couple kids or whatever. And 97% of the things she cooks are from frozen bags of food that you put in an oven and then bake for 40 minutes. So like chicken fingers, fries, stuff like that. They don't know how to cook anything. They
Hmm.
honestly don't. So now you're in a position where you can't afford to live the way you were, where you used to be ordering out 4 times a week, and then the rest of the times you just threw some stuff out of the freezer onto a thing, and what now you can't do that. I think a lot of people are kind of lost, and they almost have to go back to basics, and go back to kind of like a original roles thing. We talk about this all the time: men are men, women are women, blah blah blah. And they don't know how to fulfill those roles. They kind of want to, but they don't know how. So now what do they do?
Well, this you got time. So practice, practice, and practice. That's what I say.
Hmm.
You got time now. You got time
True.
today. You got time
Hmm.
today. All
So
right.
true.
So I go into the next article, which is something that, let me see. I think it's gone viral now because I know the young man put it on Twitter. He said he know it's going to go viral, and I think it has. This was shared with me last night. I just happened to have found it this morning as well. And when we were told to wear the mask, when it was, I guess you would say, mandatory, first thought I had was black men.
Hmm.
I was thinking about my brothers. I'm like, they're going to have a mask on. I don't know how that's going to work out for them. And then the second thought was myself. I got to put that thing on. I'm going to hate that thing. But those were
Hmm.
my thoughts. The first thing I thought of were the men. And then the second thing I thought of was myself. So I'm going to play this and let's see if it comes through because I never shared on Twitter.
Hey, so we were in Walmart and what's this, Wood River? And Wood River, Illinois. This officer right here behind us just followed us in the store. You just video. He said we can't video, but he just told us we were on body cam. He just followed us from outside, told us that we cannot wear masks. There's a presidential order. There's a state order, and he's following us right now to the store. We're being asked to leave for being safe, and this is what we're doing right now. Oh, this is going. I'm going to upload this as soon as we leave the store. This is the officer following us out of the store for absolutely no reason. If anybody knows, anybody's watching, the coronavirus is real. This guy is following us. There's more people, but he followed us from outside. From outside, he followed us all the way in the freaking store just to follow us out of the store. That's him. We're wearing masks. There he is. We're getting kicked out of Walmart for wearing masks. Are you serious? Hey, so coronavirus is real. This police officer just put us out for wearing masks and trying to stay safe.
He says something at the end I don't want said on the channel, but incredible. Just totally incredible. That's the first thing I thought of. I said, a black man, the mask. Oh, okay. Not quite sure how that's going to work out, but that was the first thing I thought of.
Hmm.
I'm like, uh, okay. And like I said, I forgot the exact date they told us in. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna say when they told us in Chicago. I just happened to watch the news conference with the president, and he had announced it, whatever particular date it was. And I said, okay, time to wear that thing. And so that's when I started wearing it. But as far as with Chicago, I can't tell you the exact date they said, well, you need to wear it.
Hmm.
But just check that out. That was my fear. What about
Mm-hmm.
the brother? What about our
Yeah.
brothers? And as you see, the guy had his hand on his gun.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Oh
trying
yeah.
to figure out you're behind them. Why
Right.
would you need your gun? For what?
Right. They're walking. They're going to leave. They are actually leaving. It's not like they're refusing. It's not like they're standing there facing you. I'm not leaving this store, but I am not doing anything wrong. They're leaving. You're going to pull out a gun in the middle of the store, two people who are not doing anything. They're just walking and following your order. Why? That was I mean incredible doesn't quite describe it. It disappointing. Um
Very disappointing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say this. I know exactly what the cop is referring to, which tells you how ignorant and stupid some people are. Because what he's talking about is the fact that what Trump said was that it was not a presidential order per se, but he did say for people to stop, like regular people, you and me, to stop buying medical masks, and urge them to stop sending medical masks to, like, say, your local Walmart or Kroger's or whatever for you to pick up. And so that way, all masks could be used for people who are in the first line,
Yes.
anyone who works in hospitals, anyone who works in ambulances, stuff like that. So he did talk about that and say, hey, listen, for the rest of us, please just wear cloth masks. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Should be sufficient for you just shopping on your day to day basis. Stop buying the medical ones so that way, the people who are handling your health can stay safe. Cool. But if you already owned the damn mask, you own the mask. He didn't say you can't wear a medical mask if you already own one. He just said stop buying new ones. Let that go to people who really need it. It's amazing that that situation could have potentially been the death of two black men because some country hick with a gun who calls himself an officer of the law who's there to protect and serve, wanted to make this like an escalated tense situation over his stupidity and ignorance and lack of understanding about a presidential address, not an order, not a presidential order. No one ordered nothing, but just a presidential address to the media. Like,
And you can't
wow.
tell me no one else, he had not seen anyone else with one. You
Exactly.
can't tell me. I'm sorry. I'm
Exactly.
not going to accept that one.
No. What he saw is, listen, it is exactly what I just said. Country bumpkin hick misunderstanding combined with what you said. A black man in a mask in a store, right?
Yep.
So, see, a black man in a mask in a store and he scares you. You think he's there to rob the place. You just try to get him out because he's there to be a robber. Get out, man, with the mask. Because you're just using that mask to pretend you need it for medical stuff, but really you're here to rob the place. That's what he was thinking. That's the only reason why you think you needed the gun. Because you think at any moment he's about to pull out a gun and say, this is a stick up. Like, really?
In the
Really?
back of the store.
Thank
Uh,
you.
uh, mm.
While the man's recording and like trying to tell them, oh, it's illegal to record. Since when? Since when? It's literally legal for you to record your interactions with the police. So just
Okay.
wow. I that situation, and I'm sure that isn't the only one. That's the only one that's gone viral, but I'm sure it's not the only one. And I hope people make more of these viral as you see them. Um, let's understand that our black, especially our black men, are at a double disadvantage here. They're
Yeah.
damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't.
Yeah.
How is that okay?
It's not. Not at all. All right. Yeah. Two more articles.
Oh, you know what? I just want to read
Oh.
really quickly what Trinity said.
Oh, okay. Sure.
She said, I'm not surprised. They'll take any opportunity to harm or embarrass Black people regularly. times of emergency will only increase the racism. Um, and, I wanted to point that out because I know a lot of people are online right now saying stuff like, oh, the state of emergency, it's going, the racial lines are going to fall, and all the things we used to care about, the gender war and this and that, are all going to fall to the wayside. And I was like, that's bullshit. If anything, people are going to hold on to those things more strongly. And I think if this doesn't prove the fact that that is closer to the truth, I don't know what will. Like, people need to open their eyes. I don't care. Short of a zombie even if a zombie apocalypse started, I'm being serious. Even if a zombie apocalypse started, racism would not initially fade. Okay. That takes time for you to stop caring about those things, right? It will take a long time. And at first, you would stick to all of your preconceived notions and ideas and whatever, and you would stick even more firmly to them. And then as everyone died around you, you would just stick to human, right? Because it's human versus zombie. But it will take a long time for you to get to the place where it's human versus zombie. And you would need the zombie thing. So that way, human race, zombie race, right? Or human race, alien race, right? That's the only way it's going to happen. So, like, guys, drop this fantasy that, oh, guess what? We're about to be post-racial just now. We're all going to band together as one. That is not going to happen. You are still Black in public. Don't forget it. Okay, I'm good.
All right. All right then. Okay. And I'll play the next one. And this one, let's see. Is this any audio? Actually, it does have. I don't remember playing it. Let me just go ahead anyway.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
see.
screen share. And where are you? You're right here. Boop. U.S. bill forcing women to see baby on ultrasound before having abortion passes, despite walkout protests by female senators. Now, what I found interesting about this is just the fact that you're forced to see the ultrasound. I understand. I get what they're trying to do. I get that. And it made me just shiver. But I'll play it and let's see what it says here.
Okay.
If it,
They're hoping the COVID-19 pandemic will help them close it, at least temporarily.
Certainly, it is not an essential procedure. I mean, it's not a life or death situation.
Abortion opponents cheered Attorney General Daniel Cameron's request, calling on Governor Andy Beshear's administration to certify, pursuant to KRS 15.241, that Kentucky's abortion providers are violating his ban on elective medical procedures during the COVID-19 pandemic by continuing to perform abortions. So far, the Beshear administration has not shut down the EMW Women's Surgical Center, the state's last remaining clinic.
Every day we focus on something that can stir people up at a time when we need them to be calm. I just don't think that we are doing the right thing.
The ACLU and Planned Parenthood both blasted Cameron's request.
I was incredibly disappointed to see this kind of opportunistic, use of the COVID-19 pandemic for some political purposes.
State lawmakers could vote on a new amendment to House Bill 451 prohibiting abortions during the outbreak.
States cannot, under any circumstance, ban abortion prior to the time of viability.
Abortion opponents say allowing abortions to continue sends a conflicting message.
And if it's okay for the governor to give them a pass, then what's to say that, they should not congregate on golf courses and various other places?
Mark Vanderhoff, WLKY News.
okay, with that can go anyway. Where? That article can go any direction. What's right, what's wrong, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Everyone has their opinion, and that's fine. I'm not here to even go there on all the different aspects of it. But what I was thinking on a personal level, of just a title um, that I'm forced to look at it. I just find that that is so. Ugh, it just made me shiver, and I
Mm-hmm.
know why. I understand what they're doing, what the whole purpose of it is, but
Mm-hmm.
that just very scary to me. Very scary.
See, I get it. I get why you're saying that, but I think that's kind of the point, you
Right.
know. And unfortunately, right? I mean, you do have women who, are not using abortion and having multiple ones or brushing it off like it was nothing after a little bit of time and, still being careless and whatever. But it comes down to, and I think that that is an important thing is are you really making an informed decision if you're not going through all of the steps, including understanding, no, that there really is something inside of you growing. This is what it looks like. This is where you're at right now. Do you want to make this decision? It's a huge decision, right? And I think that we should be now, I mean, I am pro choice, right? But now, with that being said, given the fact that I am pro choice, um, I don't know. I don't know that I disagree with it. I kind of thought that to an extent this was already happening because I thought that during this process, before they agree to for you to have an abortion, you have to go in. They have to do an ultrasound because they have to look at the size of the fetus and see how far along you are. Because once you get to a certain place, you're no longer allowed to have an abortion. So I kind of thought they were already doing this to an extent where you have to have the ultrasound and they got to find a size and so on and so forth. So you have to go through that process. So I mean, I don't know. Are they upset that during that process women are not being forced to stare physically at the screen the whole time? Or like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not sure because I'm pretty sure that this kind of happens already. Like I don't know. I guess we'd have to speak to someone who's had one who'd be willing to talk on it and explain that. But I thought that they had to do this anyway, a little bit. So I
I
don't know.
guess not. I guess not.
I don't know. But then that being said, I kind of think that a lot of the pro-lifers are really ignorant in their understanding of anything. And so a lot of times they speak from a place of ignorance. And by ignorance, I do mean lack of knowledge, where they don't really know what the heck is all happening anyway. They just think, we're going to just dance into the click. Ah, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. Just get rid of it. All right, cool. Come on in, girl. Go to sleep. Right? Like I think they have
Wow.
this
Gee.
yeah, I think they have this really warped conception that any woman who even considers abortion, she must be like that. And any woman who's ever gone through with, well, this is no big deal. I don't really care, blah, 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 blah. I've never met a woman. I know some women who have had abortions, and I've never met one who it didn't tear them up inside for months or years afterwards, where they weren't filled with guilt, where they didn't cry about it, like where they didn't
Mm.
talk about it later. Like I would have had a kid who was this old by now. So
Wow.
they don't forget, and so I think that maybe maybe this is why I think that it's so important to try to have conversations with the other side in whatever it is, because I think that we need to bridge that gap of understanding, so that way you could really try to understand what the people who are doing this thing you don't agree with, maybe figure out what it is they actually do go through. What is the process for them? What do they go through mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all that stuff? What are the
Psyche.
long-term attacks? Yeah, all of that. Like maybe let's talk about this, and maybe you won't feel the need to go so hard in the paint, for something to fight for something that's already happening, maybe. Because I don't know, I don't know. I feel like this is happening. I feel like it's already happening to an extent. I really do.
It might be somewhere. Where I don't know. Just like with cosmetic surgeries and different things, you have to have consultations. You have to actually go see someone. They need to
Mm,
know why are you doing this. Now, it may not be in all the states, but there are in some places. So maybe just maybe they do the same thing as far as with this.
Right.
I didn't want to think too deep on it. Personally, I just thought about the fact of uh, seeing it. Oh, that just made me just shiver. And I stopped
Hmm.
right there and I'm like, okay, I'll share this and then I'll move on. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, that's exactly, see, that's the thing. I'm pro-choice, but that doesn't mean, and when I say I'm pro-choice, I would not choose to have an abortion, though. See? So it's kind of like, what does that mean? I think that there's a whole bunch of different reasons why people could or should maybe even choose to have abortions. You know, I wouldn't make that choice. So I understand. Like you look at that ultrasound, you hear the heart beating and stuff, watch that and be like, yeah, okay, get rid of it. Like it just seems like such uh, a cold and manipulative and terrifying, terrible experience. And I totally get it. I totally get it. That's why I'm like, I totally get your reaction. Um, you know, but with that being said, I'm kind of also I'm kind of also seeing the other side of it. I don't know. This one's a hard one for me. This is a hard one for me. I know.
yeah, that's why I said this can go in all different direction. There's no right response, wrong response. Everyone has their personal opinion. I really didn't want to ask anyone about it. I just brought it to the
Right.
attention
Mhm.
and the articles in the chat room to be in the description area. If someone writes in, and I do mean write in because I haven't received any letters. Write in, you had a situation. Again, you will remain anonymous. Anonymous. I'll think about it then. If there's any research, I'll research it if I think that I can get you some help or something. But other than that, I'm done with this one.
Yes. Let us move on. All right.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Can I just say one thing though with the COVID
Sure.
19 part of this? Because we didn't really address it, but like the COVID 19 part of this, okay? It it is a medical procedure,
Yeah.
um, and it's a medical procedure with an expiration date, with a time limit on it.
Right.
Um, so with that being said, it was legal at the start of the pandemic. It's necessary that it's done within a certain frame of time. So I think it would not be just for them to change the legality of getting it done during the pandemic or epidemic or pandemic or whatever time. I don't think it's fair for them to change that now. Um, people who have been on the books all this time and so on and so forth. It's not like it comes down to it was legal before. I don't think we should be trying to massively change the legality of a medical procedure. I think we have more important things to focus on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the whole purpose, actually.
Mhm.
Boo. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do it. I think that's what the whole thing was. And
Yep.
again, that just gives me shivers.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad. Mm.
All right. And then our last article for the night. We on a Cova stream here, y'all. Hey,
Mhm.
it is what it is. So cold. All right. Mississippi fine $500 while attending drive-in service. Now, I hope this thing don't while I'm talking won't get started. I just want to just start with the title there. This would be like my what do I call it? My judge and jury segment. That's what
Mhm.
this article would be if I was to pick one. Now, they never had any drive-in services, so why you want one now? Just why? Just
Hmm.
why? Well, I'm sure you'll get you'll come up with answer with that.
Mhm.
Let's just listen. Let's just listen. Let's see if it acts right now. Let's see here. Boop.
We ask you to bless the police officer, Lord, while they're here about to give us citation. We pray you'll bless them.
Thursday night service at King James Bible Baptist Church in Greenville, Mississippi. As parishioners sit in their vehicles listening to Pastor Charles Hamilton, Greenville police surround the church parking lot.
They park in their parking spaces. They keep their windows up, the doors closed, and they never get out of the cars like this.
Okay. They stay in the parking lot. Windows up, doors closed. Why again are you going to a drive-in parking lot tour church service? I'll continue.
Recommends that they do.
Jeremy Dice with First Liberty Institute is representing Pastor Hamilton and says police were violating the church's constitutional right while enforcing a curfew order from Mayor Eric Simmons.
Look, there's no exception to the United States Constitution for a pandemic. What Mayor Simmons has done is to apply an order without regard to equality. He's singled out churches in particular.
King James Bible Baptist isn't the only Greenville church police visited.
We have everybody stay in their cars with the windows up. And turn and go to a certain radio station.
Lee Gordon says there were about 30 cars in the parking lot of Temple Baptist Church.
Police started coming up, and we said, no, we think we're in our rights. So they started issuing tickets, $500 tickets. I don't know. It may have been 20 to 30 tickets. Everybody got one. It wasn't per car. There was, me and my wife was in a car together, and both of us got tickets.
Gordon says the intimidation won't stop the faithful from gathering safely.
This is Easter Sunday, and we want to celebrate Easter Sunday the best way we can.
Peter Fleischer, WREG News Channel 3.
Do not play. Stop.
Okay, so I do have an answer. I do.
Okay.
The reason why I have an answer is because my mom's a pastor. My best friend's husband is a pastor, and she's a faithful devotee. And so I've spoken to them about well, you guys allowed to go to church anymore? Or I know y'all do that stuff 3-4 times a week. So what's up? And they can't. And so for example, my friend, they're doing a live stream service. So, you go on Facebook, we're going to post the live stream so you could watch the service live. Other people I spoke to online, they were going to attend a Zoom service, which I think is a little bit more personable because everyone can kind of get onto the Zoom meeting and listen and interact, and you can have more people coming into the service. Now we're going to ask Sister so-and-so to sing this and, whatever. So you can kind of do a little bit more. I think that what it is, honestly, is a lot of people are lonely and bored. And this is going to be the closest that you could get together and congregate as one without violating, staying separate, right? So we're all going to gather together. We're all going to be able to wave to each other from our cars and stuff and whatever. And then you come and you listen on this radio station, and this radio station is going to provide you, with the service. Now, I wonder, what is there a benefit insofar as money payment? So, you have to pay your tithes and your offering. Now, I was talking to my friend about it, and I said, well, set up a Cash App. Well, we don't have Cash App, but, PayPal, something, right? You set up somewhere people can just easily click and donate, or an email address people can send e-transfers to or something. So there is an electronic way of paying your tithes and offerings. But I wonder if there is, they also were collecting offering for the people who showed up. And I think that, churches don't like to have a paper trail of the money they received being real. They don't. They like to claim that they got this much money when they really got this much money. That's what I think. I'm sorry, I know, but I think that's what it is. And so they don't really want to get all their tithes and offering online because that's a paper trail. They would rather collect it from you rolling down your window and dropping it into a bucket on your way in or on your way out. And I think that is the main reason. That's the main reason versus all the other options. That's the main reason, because they are collecting tithes and offering in person at that church somehow.
Okay. I will get down to the money part, which is the last thing you mentioned, and I know it has to do with that. And all the
Mhm.
other stuff you said before that, I'm throwing it out the window.
I
Yep.
figured you would. I figured you
Like,
would, but I had
yeah,
to add it. I had to. I had to add it in. Come on. Gotta be fair.
I
Gotta
threw
be
it.
fair.
I'm throwing it all out the window.
I
I'm
know
like,
you were going to. Come on.
she's like, oh, they want to get together, sit in the car. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, let her go ahead and talk. I want to
Well,
sit my, park my Chevy next to your Toyota and your Toyota next to my Nissan. Hey, y'all over there in the car. I know y'all can't hear me because the windows are up. Can you see my? Oh, no, you got tinted.
no, but you know what,
Oh
Shar?
well.
No, because you have to think about it, right? And I'm talking about a certain segment of the church community, and this is namely the women and the women who don't work. So whether you're a housewife or you're retired, right? Comes down to this is their social club. This might as well be a sorority, right? So what you're wearing, if you show up, how faithful you are, everything's a competition, right? I'm betting you, if you really look inside these windows, these women are dressed to the nines. They got their makeup on, they got their hat pinned. You know what I mean? So I do think there's an
So
aspect there to prove your faithfulness and to prove that you still get dressed up for God and show up for God. I do think that you still got a little bit of that in there. I do. I think that's why they are showing up and doing it this way. I think the churches want them to do it this way because of the money. That's why. Yeah, yeah.
all right. So I will agree with you with the money part at the end and everything you said before that. Yeah. You dressed up, all dressed up, and nobody can see you in your car because you're supposed to be 6 feet away. Who you dressing up for? And nobody can
Mhm,
see you. Nobody.
mhm, mhm.
Nobody, baby.
Oh, you can
Keep
see people
sweat.
through a car window. You never had a cute guy
Six.
drive past you in a car window and you're like, hey, baby. And then you guys are
He
looking
only,
at each other on the highway. You
he
can
only
see.
see from the shoulders up, maybe some of the torso. But dressing up, come on now.
Mhm. Well, it's
Uh-huh.
a whole thing. It's a dress, right? So if you want to see from the
Hmm.
waist up, you're wearing a dress. The whole dress is going to look all right.
Mm, mm, mm. These people are sitting in the car, spread apart, know what the rules are. It's mandated. Keep your
Mhm,
tail at home. No social gathering. They're like, okay, we're
mhm.
gonna be slick. Now this is what the church is saying.
Yeah,
We're gonna be slick.
yeah.
What we gonna do is we gonna separate everybody. Y'all drive up, and you turn to 92.7 on your AM dial, and you'll hear me broadcast. See, and now I can't get close to you. You can't get close to me, but I got this link that
Mhm,
I'm gonna email to you, and give to God. During this
mhm,
time. That's what I like for you to do.
mhm,
Because He's been good all the time, and all the time He's been good. So it's all about the money. I am not
mhm,
going to believe it has nothing to do with no social anything. Getting out the house, they dress. I'm not. No, none of those. None of those things. Now, I want to see after they got this $500 fine. I want to see if sister gonna show up next week so she can dress up and wave at everybody. I'm gonna see if she gonna come back
mhm,
next week. That's what I want to see because
mhm.
she got a $500 fine, and so did Pasta, and he didn't even collect $500, so he definitely is not gonna come back next week. He gonna like, look here, y'all gonna have to just tune in to 97.3 or whatever the number is, and I'm still gonna send that link for y'all to hit. That's what I'm gonna do. So when you get that email, you go ahead and send your donations in. That's what's going to end up happening.
You know what? I don't know, Char. I don't know. You know why? Because again, bored people will do it. Listen, I will when I've been on bed rest for a long time because of my health. I will sit. I will shower. I'll do my eyebrows. I'll get myself all dressed up, color coordinated, fresh to death to sit in the car. Like I'm just gonna come for the drive with you, but I'm not getting out of the car. No one's even gonna see me because once you leave the car, I like lie down so no one can even see me. I'm not seeing nobody. But I got dressed up to go sit in the car because this is an outing for me, right? So those people are still going out. If you call them, they will come. And you know what? Someone can always lie to them and tell them that this is doing service to God, and they'll believe it, right? It's the same way that they believe if they pay $1,000 offering, maybe God will bless them, right? I mean, once you get people brainwashed into this idea, right? They're paying for pastors' jet planes. You think they're gonna care about a little measly $500 fine? They're not gonna care about that. And that's what if they did this, what I think they did, the church, where they collected offering on the way in or the way out. You know what I mean? As long as that offering superseded whatever fines that they received and they don't have to claim it, they're absolutely going to do it again. As long as they don't have a money trail, they would absolutely do it again. Now, will they be so blatant as to have it at that building? Maybe not. Maybe not. They might do it somewhere else, but I think that they would still do it. I do. I honestly do. Maybe not at that building, but I think they'll do it. In fact, really, since it's in mission for God or whatever, there's a good chance that they will even try to do it at that same location the second time because people love being martyrs, right? Because if you're a martyr, you know how much people are willing to pay to you in tithes and offering if you are a martyr for Jesus? You get arrested for Jesus? Oh, come on. Sure. You do it. You do it. That pastor gets arrested for Jesus? Yep.
Come on down.
Yeah, and all he sees is dollar signs. And all he sees is dollar
Sit in
signs.
your car and listen to me.
Yep.
I'm going to email you the links you need to kit and donate. That's what I'm going to do.
Right. They're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
right.
I'm telling you, they're gonna do it. Listen, because again, the links have a money trail and they don't want a money trail. I'm telling you. They will if they can find a way to circumvent having that money trail, they will try that first. That's it. And I mean, yes, I'm talking about them like they're a criminal enterprise. I know, I understand that, but that's just because I think they sort of kind of are, right? I mean, let's be real. If there wasn't something shady as hell about all of this, they would have did what every other church is doing, and they would have had a Zoom link, a live stream, something. They would have just done that. Here's your link to donate. The end. Why didn't they
No,
do
he
that?
got to come. He got to throw some oil or something, touch the hood of the car and bless them or something. You got to throw something up in there because I'm gonna look at him like he crazy. I'm not coming out. See you later. If God don't take care of this building while I'm gone, it just ain't gonna. It's not gonna be no building. I don't know what to tell you. Now these people, I'm pretty sure a lot of them lost income, and you're gonna. Oh, I'm just done.
Yep.
I'm just done.
Yep. That's all I gotta say about that.
I'm just done. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming through. I really appreciate it. This right now is for the month of April. I'll be doing this on Saturdays for an hour. The article reactions. I enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy it too, and you come back next week. Today we started at 7 p.m. Central. I think I did that last week too. So maybe we'll try it again the same that time, same that channel. And until then, peace.
All right. Cheers, y'all.